Right, guys, today's video I'll be doing is talking about the state of gaming, and my opinion on gaming this year, in the past maybe few months or to a year. So yeah, let's get into it.
Please don't forget me. I see what you see, here's what it seems.
So all of you watching this should know that obviously this is a gaming channel, so this topic makes sense to post and talk about the state of gaming in the past year, as I've said we'll be doing. So yeah, starting off, I'm just going to be talking about some games that I'm looking forward to come out this year. So the first one is the GTA Expanded and Enhanced, basically a remaster. Obviously it's called Expanded and Enhanced. So Enhanced obviously means it's a remaster and the graphics and that will be updated. But Expanded, no one really knows. We know what that means, obviously, like that word, but we don't know what it means in terms of GTA. We don't know if it's maybe a new map or added on to the current map, or if there's going to be new stuff in story mode and stuff like that. So we don't really know, and we've not had much information about the release date. I'm sure it was E3 I think last year, which is about June time, so nearly a year ago, and that's basically about it. We don't know anything else. In the trailer they did use some footage from PS4, which I think that version released in 2014, and then there was even some from the original game, which was 2013. Oh no, sorry, the trailer was 2011. So yeah, that's not the best sign. Talking about an expanded and enhanced version of a game is when you're using footage from 2011, nearly 10 years ago when it will come out. So yeah, we don't really know much. That could come out in the next, maybe in a month, or it could come out right at the end of the year. No one knows yet. There's not been a date, there's not even been a time of the year it's going to be released. They just said it's going to be in 2021. Another game I'm looking forward to is Outlast Trials. This is the exact same. We've had the trailer to go off of for nearly a year, and that's it. No date or anything, just 2021. Back 4 Blood, that's a bit better. We've had a trailer. We've got, I don't know if it's been a proper like date in that confirmed for when it's going to come out, but I'm sure it's October it comes out. So at least we know more information about that. But there's not been a lot to go off of for these 3 games, and I'm sure obviously for other games as well there's not been a lot, but for the 3 I'm interested in, there's not been a lot of information to go off of. And I'm sure you have all heard or seen on TikTok about, or on Twitter and stuff, about how gaming's boring. I agree with this, for the most part anyway. Like, I can play games with my friends and stuff and have fun, but if I'm playing myself, or I'm playing even with friends in certain games, it can be very boring. For example, Call of Duty, there's not much happening with that. The Battle Pass is obviously a thing. I've not played the new Cold War in months. I've not played it in like 2 months, because I find it boring. But when I stopped playing it in Season 2, or kind of halfway through it, the Battle Pass was terrible. There was Outbreak was introduced, but I found it quite boring at the start when it first came out, so I kind of didn't really play it much. Multiplayer, I don't find it fun at all, so I kind of came off it. And yeah, the game, when I was playing it, there's so many bugs. I've got the new Series X, which is the most powerful console in the world currently, and yet there's bugs happening in Cold War, so that shows that it's not the actual console, and it's the game it's basically not finished, to be honest with you. The game's been out for, I think, 6 or 7 months. It came out in November, I'm sure. So 6 or 7 months, and there's still bugs going on. The game's not finished, and I think it's 3 years I've had to work on it. I might be wrong. So it was 2 years. I remember Black Ops 4 came out 2 years ago, or when Cold War came out, it was 2 years ago. Yes, it's been out. They've had 2 years to work on it, and yet it's not a completed game. And I do get that obviously COVID can affect how a game's made and stuff, but the campaign was really good. So obviously they can do it from home, but yet the multiplayer and zombies and stuff just isn't complete. When I got it for Christmas. So when I think I started playing it when I got my Series X, which was just after Christmas. I played it in the first few multiplayer games I played. There was textures not loading in, the FPS wasn't the best, and there was just so many bugs. And the same thing goes for GTA as well. I think the last update for the game was the Kill Perico, which I'm sure came out in December, and since then there's been no new content at all. There's been updates like vehicle discounts and new vehicles, or different vehicles in the podium, and a few like jobs that are double money or triple money, whatever. But there's actually been no new content in that game for 6 months. And as I mentioned earlier, the expanded enhanced version's coming out soon, or in this year. So there might not even be an update until then, and that could be the end of the year. So there might not be an update for another 8 months or so. So yeah, we don't really know what's going on. Now, I might be, probably I'm wrong here, and there probably has been more games, but from going off the top of my head, there's only been 2 really big games that I can think of that have came out since the launch of the new consoles, which is Cold War and Hitman. I've not played Hitman, but I've seen like gameplay and pictures and stuff, and it looks really good. But yeah, Cold War is, as I mentioned, it is not the best. I'd personally would put it in the top 5 worst Call of Duties ever, and that's including like Infinite Warfare, Ghost and stuff. Obviously that's my opinion, but that's what I think. Because the campaign's good, as I said, but it's just so buggy and it's not complete, so it's not a good game at all. So in the last 6-7 months since the console's been released, there's only been 2 games, which is very bad, especially for a release. We were for the UK anyway, we were in lockdown, so I get that maybe companies didn't want to put games out, unlike Cyberpunk actually. That came out only in the old gen consoles, but that still was bad, and that came out since the new consoles, but that doesn't count. So yeah, we were in a lockdown, so it makes sense that they didn't want to release games and stuff and have them in stores, because we wouldn't be able to get it, but you can still buy stuff online. So I don't really know, maybe games aren't ready to be put out, but when you've got like GTA that's had 6 years to either make a new game or do this expanded enhanced version sooner, because I'm sure the last version of the game was the PC one, which came out in 2015. So that proves as well that the launches and stuff isn't going well, and gaming is quite boring. Call of Duty as well has had the same as GTA. There's been no new content at all. There's been obviously the Battle Pass, but in terms of like actual DLCs and stuff, the last DLC I'm sure came out of nowhere. I think it was a trailer like maybe less than a week before the actual came out, so it was kind of unexpected. But DLC 1 came out I think end of January, and since then we've no new information on DLC 2. I'm sure the community knows where it's set, and I'm sure it's Berlin, but that was going off in the last map. That's not been confirmed by Treyarch or anything. So yeah, we don't really know what's happening with that. The time me recording this, there's been no new information, but that could change obviously before this gets uploaded. But there's been no new information at all, so that's why I'm kind of not playing COD at the moment and why I find it boring. So moving on to the next topic, about the new Call of Duty this year. We've not had any confirmed information. All we're going off of is rumours here. So for the past month, maybe 2 months, the rumour has been that this Call of Duty this year will be called Call of Duty Vanguard, which will be a continuation from World War II, which came out in 2017, I'm sure. And only maybe like a few weeks ago, the a leaker has came out and said, obviously a leaker obviously knows information about the game and stuff. This is a leak, so it could just be someone making it up, but the leaker has branded the game as a disaster, which is, to be honest, it's embarrassing for a game to be, if this is true, if it is a disaster, it's embarrassing that a game or a company that could take up to, well, it came out, the last game came out in 2017, so up to 4 years to make a game, and we're in like maybe 6-7 months away from the new Call of Duty release, and it's been branded a disaster. That's really, really bad. So there is rumours as well that the game might not even happen at all, and to be honest, I hope this happens, because if it doesn't happen, there's been leaks and rumours and stuff going about that the Modern Warfare 2 remaster might get multiplayer as well. A lot of people are saying they don't want this to happen, but I do. Multiplayer was Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer was probably the best in any Call of Duty, and the full remaster of the first Modern Warfare went down very well. That sold a lot of copies, and and it's still populated to this day. It didn't come out that long ago, but for a game that came out maybe 5 years ago, and it's still popular, just kind of shows how people kind of like remastered games and like the multiplayer bit of it. Now this kind of makes sense as well, because when Modern Warfare 2 remaster came out, or the campaign remaster came out, they said it didn't add the multiplayer because it would take away from the Modern Warfare 2019 multiplayer, like fan base and stuff, and people playing that, which makes a lot of sense. Obviously, if you bring a game and you don't want two multiplayers at the same time, but now that it's Treyarch's game that's out this year or last year, it would make sense to release this Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. So hopefully it happens. And now going to the last topic. This will be short because it's just one piece of information. Discord has now been added to PlayStation, so that is obviously brilliant news. That means that you can play cross platform. So if you're on PlayStation, which Discord's on, you can play with I don't know if the parties work on that, but you can play with PlayStation 5. You can play PC as well, like voice chat. I mean, obviously cross platform's a thing. You can play with PC and Xbox, but in terms of communicating, if you can speak to someone on PC now, while you're also playing the game. So it's basically like a party chat for all consoles to combine together. So now that it's on PlayStation, hopefully it comes on Xbox soon, so that way PlayStation and Xbox can communicate with each other when they're playing the game. Because I used to play on PlayStation, but I've moved back to Xbox, and I've still got friends that play PlayStation. So if Xbox was to get Discord, obviously it'd be easier to talk to them. I don't have to maybe do it on the phone and have no game audio, or do it in Discord on the PC, and it's awkward to set up and stuff. So hopefully this happens. It comes out on Xbox soon. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Thank you guys for watching. See you next video.
Please help me.